Hi guys, I'm Ivory and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of Colourpop. I've been really lucky. Almost everything that I get from Colourpop, I'm overall really happy with. So I figured I'd get something from every single category since so far I've had a really good experience with the brand. For the most part, everything in this video is going to be pretty much new. So unless I say that I previously owned it, you can assume that it's new and it's a first impression. And at the end of this video, I'll be giving my final thoughts about what I think really stands out or what you could probably save your money on. And before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every single week, and also be sure to follow me on my social media. Everything is _ivorycherry. So first I'm going to spot conceal some of my acne. So I'm going in with the No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 22. Nope. This is medium 26. This is medium 22. If you are my shade, I would go with medium 22. I feel like this one, the undertone is just maybe just like a teeny bit too peachy, where this one is a little bit more yellow golden. But medium 26 is a little bit darker, and I am kind of tan right now, so I'm gonna go in with the darker shade. But in general, the rest of the year, I'm medium 22. I have used this concealer quite a few times. I love this concealer. It's probably a top 3 for me. I wouldn't compare it to the Shape Tape. It is a little more hydrated than that, but the coverage I would say is comparable, and the price is way better, of course. All right, next we're gonna move on to brows. This is the Colourpop Brow Boss. I don't know why I said Colourpop. You know it's a full face of Colourpop, so that was redundant, but I'm using the Brow Boss in the shade Ash Brown. I tried a different brow pencil from them. I think it was called the Precisely My Brow Pencil. The quality of the pencil wasn't a problem. The problem was that it didn't retract, and this one retracts. So I feel like this one probably came afterwards. They probably got the feedback from that one and was like, well, it's good, but it just needs to retract. And then they came out with this one, which is like the 2.0 of that one. At least that's what I assumed happened. I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm just making conjectures here. I never get the darkest shade of brow pencil, but some people actually match the brow hair color. I always try to go a little bit lighter, but that's just a personal preference. I feel like the quality is very similar to the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I didn't have any problems with it. I like the fine tip, the spoolie's great. I'm gonna take more of the concealer in the shade Medium 26 to clean up my brows. So for the eyes, I'm going in with the Sweet Talk palette. This is what it looks like. I love these types of colors. Pink is my favorite color. I really like pastel pinks or springtime type of pinks, kind of like a peony. I just feel like they look so girly and flirty. I have tried Colourpop eyeshadows before. I bought the Honey eyeshadow palette, and I really like that one. But with that palette, I always had an eyeshadow primer, and I don't think Colourpop has one. So just to make sure that I give this a fair review, I'm gonna go in with my own eyeshadow primer so that I know that I'm doing everything I can to make these shadows work. This one is by Anastasia. All right, so I'm just gonna play around with the colors. I want to try and do, it's like a halo eye, but it goes all the way up to the eyebrow. I've been seeing it go around. I love the way it looks. I've tried it once and it didn't look right, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna stop being a little bitch about it. I'm just gonna do it. I might mess it up on camera, but you know what? At least I tried. I saw Raw Beauty Christy did a look like this, and I feel like she just has way more eyelid space, or she's just better at proportioning her eyes. I don't know, but it just came out so beautiful. You know what? Before I move on to this eye, let's make sure this eye looks good before we replicate. All right, and then with the Morphe M506 brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Melody, and I'm gonna pack that into the middle. Oh, okay, that was way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. That just showed up right away. Okay, how do we feel? I feel like you guys are like, you're doing great, Ivory, keep going. Okay, I will. I'm gonna go into the shade Feel Free. I'm gonna deepen out the edges. And then with a fluffy brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Prima Drama, and I'm gonna place that right in the center as well. Oh, this is pretty. It is a packed glitter. I don't know if you need glitter primer on top for it to stay, but it seems like it's kind of staying. You know what? I take that back, because as I blend right now, it's just flying away. So you do need a glitter primer if you're gonna apply this. It's not gonna stay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this look. I don't think that this spotlight type of look is flattering on me, or maybe I'm just not used to it. Let me see, maybe if I apply some lashes. This is just hypothetical. I'm not gluing them on yet. I'm not into it. This is exactly what I feared, so I'm gonna do what always works, which is do one eye off of camera, and then when I finally like it, then I will go on camera and show you how to replicate it. Be right back. All right, I am back and I'm way happier with the way this looks, so we're gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm gonna mix both Meadow as well as Dream Maker, and I'm gonna apply that all around my crease because you already see I cut the crease, so there's no point of adding it there. And then with the Sigma E44 brush, I'm gonna go into the shade West Side. I'm gonna place that basically everywhere that we applied this pink shade, but just a little bit lower. I want the pink to still be in the background. I was gonna film this video yesterday, but my husband was home. Back when I had my filming set up in my vanity room, I always had to wait till my husband was at work because I wasn't comfortable with him hearing me talk. But now that all the stuff is moved into the basement, I'm able to do my videos even when he's working from home, which is pretty often. But every single time I film, right before I do, I tell him to turn on music so that he can't hear me, because I get immediately quieter when I think someone is listening, and he assures me that he can't hear me. But then yesterday I was about to film and I said, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs to film, and he said, okay, I'll be up here silently judging you, that way you can never feel totally natural and normal. Like, who says that? So then I'm like, okay, well then I don't want to film anymore if you're home, if you can hear me. Like, why would you even say that? Why can't you just pretend that you don't hear me? I swear, he just says some of the dumbest things. I'm gonna take my eyeshadow primer again, and I'm gonna use a flat shader brush to cut my crease. All right, and then once it's cut to your liking, I'm gonna go in with a flat shader brush and go into the shade, oops, Melody. I'm gonna basically apply that all over the lid, and I'm applying this with a dry brush too. I don't have to wet it. I feel like it looks good without having to add anything to the brush. I'm gonna flip the brush over and go into the shade Garden Date. It's like a coral shimmer, and I'm gonna place it in that awkward gap. And then with a smaller taper brush, I'm gonna go into the shade West Side as well as Feel Free, and I'm gonna just deepen out the outer V. And then from what I've learned, I need glitter glue, so I'm going in with the NYX glitter glue, and I'm gonna pat that all over my lid. And then trying again, I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to Prima Drama. I'm gonna sprinkle that all over where the glitter glue is. And I feel like if you use a fluffy brush versus your finger, you're more likely to get it dispersed evenly, versus like when you put it on your finger, it's very packed on right there and you can't move it around. Whereas this one, I feel like it does the work for you. All right, I'm just gonna take some micellar water and remove some of the glitter that's under my eye. I'm gonna move on to foundation. I did previously own this, and I did do a wear test on it for 2 days, so I'll put it up here if you want to check it out. I am in the shade Medium Dark 120. I also tried their foundation sticks, and I hate that one. It takes a lot of layers to build up. It felt very heavy. It did not last well on me, and I also don't understand how people with dry skin can use it, because most people with dry skin, they don't set their face, which is crazy to me because I always have to set my face. But that foundation transfers so much. Like, how do you hug people with that foundation? I feel like if I hug someone even with a shirt like this, like it would completely rub off. All right, so this is what it looks like after 1 coat. I usually do 2 coats, but today I feel like 1 should be enough. I'm gonna go back in with the concealers. I'm gonna mix both 22 and 26, and hopefully you can see from here the difference between the two. So you see this is 22 and it just looks more neutral, I would say. And while we're here, I do want to talk to you guys about something. So I talked about this in my Instagram stories. A while back, I did a foundation wear test on the For Era foundation. It was Amazon's bestseller. It had a lot of great reviews, and I wore it all day for 10 hours. And even though it started out pretty good, I would say, in the end, I did not think it was suitable for someone with oily skin, and I gave it a thumbs down. It ended up coming back to me that that same brand took footage from my video without asking me, without telling me, and put it in their ad as me advocating for that foundation, which I didn't. It had music on it, so they don't hear what I'm saying, but of course they conveniently left out the fact that I gave this a bad review. So I just kind of want to tell you guys that that ad is going around. I'm aware of it. There's really nothing I can do. So if you see it, just know that it's a scam. They are liars. This is a brand that also uses people's footage where they're not even using their foundation and passing it off as their own. It's absolutely not right, and all you can do is really call them out on it. So I just want to, you know, tell you guys to be smart shoppers and know the truth about that situation. So that's really all I have to say. I'm gonna set my entire face using the No Filter setting powder. This is translucent. I'm actually gonna do half my face first just to see if it really is translucent, because sometimes they say that and then it lightens up my foundation. Okay, it has no scent from what I can tell. I'm gonna apply this everywhere because that's what I normally would do. Okay, first impressions, feels good, feels smooth. I'm gonna wipe away some of the excess just so that it doesn't sway my opinion. And I'm also gonna spray. Oh my God, I forgot setting spray. Damn it, I always forget setting spray. Wow, okay, I'm sorry. All right, so it's an almost full face of Colourpop. I'm gonna spray my face just so that it melts everything together, and that way I can get a better picture Okay, so it doesn't look like it altered the shade. It didn't lighten it. Definitely nice and matte. Okay, cool. Let's do the rest of the face. All right, so let's finish off the lower lash line. I'm gonna take my fluffy brush that we used for both Meadow and Dream. I'm gonna go into both of them again. I'm gonna pinch the bristles and we're just gonna smoke out the lower lash line. And then with a smaller fluffy brush, I'm gonna go into the first shade, which is called Catch Me. It's almost like the color of this cardboard. And I'm gonna use that to blend the edges of the pink shades. Not necessary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You try and stop me. Okay, so the eyes are done. I'll move on to mascara in a bit. Before I move on to the rest of my base, I did want to talk about something really quickly because I already tried these. So these are the Colourpop liquid eyeshadows. They're from the Zoella collab and the color is undeniably gorgeous. As you can see, they're gorgeous. My issue with these are they don't layer well. They will flake after a second coat. So once you start swiping, that's the layer you get. If you keep layering on top, it'll crumble. If you have wrinkly eyelids, it's not gonna look nice. And shortly after you wear them near the lash line, they flake off. They don't stay. So I wanted to make a quick note of that because I just finished the eyes and I just wanted to make a little side note. I'm gonna move on to bronzer. This is the pressed powder bronzer in the shade Afternoon Delight. It comes in a single pan, but apparently there's options for it to have like a little compact situation. My friend gave me this, but I didn't see this option. So I don't know if they still have it like this, but this is what I got. I don't typically go too intense with this. At least I don't think I do. I don't know. It's a day-by-day situation with me. But I think the color overall looks nice. I think it's a good match with me. You know what? Just to compare, I'm gonna go in with the other bronzer just to see if this formula is any different. Oh, that's... yeah, I can't tell if it's just because it's darker that it seemed like it was more pigmented. But either way, I don't have a problem with either of these. I'm gonna take the loose setting powder again. I'm gonna go in with the Sigma F87 and I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I told you I was still experimenting with this brush. I think we found a use for it. Look at that. Okay, it's really getting dust everywhere, but it has a specialized purpose now. And while this is setting, I'm gonna go in with highlight. Okay, this is confusing because the front says, I like your face. So I thought it was the I like your face palette. And then on the back, it says, give me more pressed powder highlighter. So I don't know which one it is. But anyway, this is what it looks like. Okay, let's do two actually. So I typically would go for this type of shade. So let's go into that one first. Okay, that is a very good shade for me. I'm gonna take my color switch to get some of that highlighter off, and then we're gonna start kind of from scratch. I never reach for this type of shade, and I kind of want to, so let's try it. Well, that's just beautiful. For blush, I'm going in with the Colourpop blush sticks. This is in the color Cool It. It is a cool toned mauve type of blush color. These are cream, and this has a little bit of a purple undertone, which I don't think goes with the eyes, but I don't have a blush like this, and that was what I was thinking when I bought it. Like, what type of blush don't I have? And I want to add value to my collection. I don't want to get the exact same color I already have. You know what I mean? Okay, I think you can add this on top of a set face. We will find out. Okay, so far looking foolish. Okay, so far I don't really know how to feel about it. I do see a little bit of my foundation sticking to the top, so it's possible that maybe this should go before I set my face. But at the same time, if my foundation is not set and I put this on top, wouldn't it just move around? At least I would think it would. The color isn't bad. It feels like my foundation when I don't set it. Like it has a little bit of stickiness to it. I don't particularly like that feeling. It would be one thing if it was a cream dry down to like a powder or a satin type of finish. I'm also going to take this middle shade. It's called Upgrade. I'm going to add that into my inner corner and my brow bone. It's like a frosty white, but it has a little bit of pink to it. Okay, do you see right here? I had foundation here and I feel like this blush rubbed off the foundation right there. So my acne is no longer covered. So I don't really like that on our first impressions. I just want to say that I'm using it the way I thought made sense to me. It's possible that I'm wrong. So that's why I'm just going to say what I feel on a first impressions, and don't think that just because I don't like something on a first impressions, I just toss it out. I will try it again because I bought it, and Colourpop has a no return policy. So I'm going to keep trying with it. I'm going to try for the second time the mascara. First time I wore this mascara, I thought it was all right. It wasn't anything special, but I feel like now that it's dried out a little bit, I like it the second time around. And sometimes, a lot of times actually, that's what happens. I don't like mascaras right away. It takes a couple times of use for me to get acclimated to the formula. I'm gonna move on to my lips. These are the Just a Tint lip crayons. I got the bundle You're a Peach. which I did try this before in a first impressions of drugstore slash affordable makeup. I'll put it up here if you're interested. In that video, I made a mistake. So I said that the names of the colors were not on the packaging. I was wrong. They're at the very top, and I was a butthead and didn't see that. Last time I used Z Boys, so this time I'll use Rise and Shine. I feel like that goes with the eyes too, and they smell really good too. These barely show up, and this one especially for me because it's very similar to my lip color already. Like you can see right here. Do you even see that? No, it's just barely there. So I think this is more so it's too similar to my lip color. This one is a little lighter, so that's why you're able to see it on my lower lip a little bit better. It really is just a tint. You'll see plenty of your natural lip peeking through this. It's really just a product to quickly put in your bag if you ever feel like you have dry lips and you just want like a little bit of a tint. Just throw it on and it'll get the job done. So even though I set my face, I just want to add a little bit of that coverage back, and then I'm going to take the powder again, reset. There's a little bit of blush up here, and when I added the powder, it made it less sticky. I still feel a little bit of grip. That makes sense because usually if your foundation or something is sticky, you put powder on top of it, it'll take it away. So instead, I'm gonna go in with a Super Shock Cheek Matte Blush. This is in the shade Count Me In. This is somewhere in between a powder and cream formula. It's almost like putty when you press into it. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm gonna go in with a brush. Okay, I already like this a lot better than I liked the blush sticks. All right, and now that my mascara has dried down a little bit, I'm gonna take a clean brush. I'm gonna go in with my translucent powder, and I'm gonna run that at the backs of my lashes, and that will help them not transfer to my lower lash line. All right, guys, and this is the final look, so let's do an overview. So let's talk about the good. The loose powder I liked. This Super Shock Cheek Blush I liked. The bronzers, a little bit of work, but for the most part, I would say I liked them as well. The highlighters, I think there's a great variety, and the pigmentation was really good. And the eyebrow pencil, I feel like this is like an upgraded version of the previous one that they had. Some things that were pretty good. The eyeshadow palette, I thought overall, like I said, it's pretty good. The only thing is I did feel like they took way more time to build up versus the shimmers. The shimmers are good, but the matte took more time than I'm used to both pack on and build up. Like I've said, I've tried Colourpop shadows, and for the most part, I really like them. I didn't feel like I had to put as much work into the other palettes versus this one. This one took a little bit more elbow grease, but for the price, it's not bad. I'm glad that I still have this. The mascara, I have to see how it wears. Hi, it is me, Editing Ivory. It has been about 7 hours since I've worn the mascara, and I wanted to give you an update. On this eye, there's no smearing underneath, but on this eye, there's a little bit. It's really not that bad. I see it right here. I don't know how close I can get before it gets blurry, but there is a little bit of smearing. It's not totally raccoony, but I did see it transferred a little bit. I'm not too mad about it, and especially since this is non-waterproof, I don't think it's that bad. For anyone that has this mascara, because I know for a lot of people, this did smear on their lower lash line. Before you throw it out, please try putting a little bit of powder behind the lashes so that way it doesn't smear, and see if that works before you completely give up on it. So that's basically all I wanted to add. So carry on, regular Ivory. We'll work on that. And the lip tint crayons, like I said, this is the category of they're pretty good. They're quick and they're easy and they're nourishing. If you just need something to quickly go over your lips, then this is good. This is very beginner friendly. Oh, I forgot to say in the good group is the concealers. I love their concealers. And back to the pretty good category is the Colourpop foundation. Like I said, I did a review on it and I stand by my review. And as far as what I would skip from Colourpop, these liquid eyeshadows, they suck. If you're looking for a dupe for the Stila Magnificent Metals, these are not it. And then lastly, the blush sticks. I didn't like the way it felt on my cheeks. It felt like I didn't set my face, and I hate that feeling. It removed some of my foundation, so I can't really see myself getting on board. But like I said, I'm gonna give it a couple more tries before I deem it like totally useless to me. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like this video and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.